everyone, and welcome to a deep dive that takes us high up into the Himalayas.
Ooh, I love this one.
This time we're exploring the Hidimba Devi Temple.
Yes. Located in Manali, Himachal, Pradesh.
We'll uncover the legends and mythology surrounding this unique temple.
It's truly a one-of-a-kind place.
Right. Just picture this. A four-tiered pagoda nestled among towering cedar trees.
Stunning. And so different from any other temple architecture in the region.
Exactly. And to make things even more intriguing, this temple is dedicated to a figure straight out of the Mahabharata.
You're talking about Hidimba Devi, right?
That's right, Hidimba Devi.
It's her story that makes this temple so captivating.
Okay, so for those who might not be familiar with the Mahabharata,
The epic tale.
can you give us a quick rundown of who Hidimba Devi is?
Well, in the epic, she's initially portrayed as a Rakshasi.
A Rakshasi.
Basically a demoness living in the forest with her brother.
Okay, a demoness. But she ends up with a temple dedicated to her. How does that happen?
That's where her story takes an unexpected turn.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
You see, over time, the people of Manali began to see Hidimba as a protector of their valley.
So they shifted her image from a fearsome demoness to a benevolent goddess.
Precisely. It's fascinating how local communities often reinterpret those grand narratives from epics.
Right, so they focused on different aspects of her story, highlighting her protective nature.
Exactly. It really shows you how fluid folklore can be.
Makes sense. It adapts and changes over generations, reflecting the beliefs and values of the people.
And that's what makes studying these stories so fascinating.
Agreed. But before we get too deep into her transformation, let's go back to the Mahabharata for a moment.
Back to the epic.
Remind me, what's her role in the grand scheme of things?
Well, in the Mahabharata, Hidimba and her brother encounter the Pandav brothers during their exile.
Ah, the Pandavas. Now, those are some names everyone knows.
Right. And one of the Pandav brothers, Bhima, catches Hidimba's eye, you could say.
Okay, so we have a Rakshasi who's fallen for a Pandava. That's not your typical love story.
It definitely isn't. Their backgrounds couldn't be more different.
Talk about a forbidden romance. What happens next? Does she try to win him over?
She does more than try.
Ooh, this is getting good.
She completely defies her brother to protect Bhima.
Wow. She chooses love over family and tradition.
Exactly. And in doing so, she shows incredible strength and loyalty.
That's quite a bold move for a character who starts off as a demoness.
It is, but that's what makes Hidimba's character so captivating.
She's not just a one-dimensional villain, right?
No.
There's depth and complexity to her.
Absolutely. And this forbidden romance actually leads to a very important character being born.
You're talking about their son, right?
Yes, Ghatotkacha.
Ah, Ghatotkacha. Now, he plays a significant role in the Mahabharata War, doesn't he?
He does. He inherits his mother's magical abilities and fights bravely alongside the Pandavas.
That's a true hero.
His courage and sacrifice are still remembered and honored, especially here in Manali.
So, we have this fascinating family. A powerful Rakshasi, her Pandava lover, and their heroic son.
And it's this family story that's intricately linked to the Hidimba Devi Temple.
So, how does the temple come into the picture? Why was it built, and when?
The story goes that Maharaja Bahadur Singh built the temple in 1553 AD after a vivid dream.
A dream.
Yes. In his dream, Hidimba appeared before him and instructed him to erect a temple in her honor.
Wow, a divinely inspired temple. And where was it built?
Right over the cave where Hidimba was believed to have meditated.
So it's not just a random location, it's a place imbued with meaning and history.
Exactly. The temple is rooted in both history and legend, which adds to its mystique.
I can see why this place is so special. And remember how we talked about its unique architecture? That pagoda style is really striking.
Absolutely. The four-tiered wooden structure is unlike anything else you'd see in the region.
It's a testament to the craftsmanship of that era.
And speaking of unique features, you know what else sets this temple apart?
What's that?
It doesn't have a traditional idol.
No idol. So what do people worship?
Instead of an idol, the most sacred element inside is a footprint.
A footprint. Whose footprint?
Hidimba Devi's, of course.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like a tangible connection to her presence.
Right. It's a powerful symbol of her enduring presence and the way belief can shape our understanding of the divine.
And what about Ghatotkacha? Is he honored at the temple as well?
He is. There's a shrine dedicated to him near the main temple.
It's like a tribute to his bravery and sacrifice in the Mahabharata War.
Exactly. And just like his mother, locals believe that Ghatotkacha's spirit protects the valley.
So the temple honors both Hidimba and Ghatotkacha.
Both mother and son standing as protectors of the valley.
And this brings us to another fascinating aspect of the Hidimba Devi Temple. the annual fair held in her honor.
Ah, yes. The Hidimba Devi Fair. A true spectacle.
Tell me more. What makes it so special?
Just imagine Manali coming alive every May with music, dance, and colorful processions.
Wow, sounds vibrant.
It is. It's a joyous celebration of Hidimba's legacy, with people from all over the surrounding villages joining in.
What kind of things happen during the fair?
You'd see people in traditional Himachali dress, there's folk singing, storytelling, dancing.
It's like stepping into a different world.
It truly is a celebration of community, culture, and devotion.
And I'm sure people bring offerings to Hidimba Devi during this time, right?
They do. Offerings of fruits, flowers, even local delicacies are made to seek her blessings for the year ahead.
It must create a beautiful atmosphere, filled with the scent of incense and the energy of devotion.
It's truly a unique experience.
It's amazing how a tale from the Mahabharata continues to have such a profound impact on the lives of people today.
And speaking of impact, there's a fascinating local belief tied to the fair's timing.
Really? What's that?
It's believed that during the fair, Hidimba reveals prophecies about the upcoming season's harvest and weather.
Wow, so they're seeking her guidance for the future.
Exactly. They look to her for wisdom and insight into what the year holds.
So the Hidimba Devi Fair isn't just a celebration. It's a time to connect with the goddess and seek her blessings.
It's a beautiful example of how deeply intertwined Hidimba's story is with the lives of the people of Manali.
It really is. But there's so much more to uncover about this incredible temple and the beliefs surrounding it.
Definitely. We've only just scratched the surface.
So let's take a quick pause here and come back to delve deeper into the world of Hidimba Devi.
I can't wait. So before the break, we were talking about how the Hidimba Devi Fair is more than just a celebration.
Right. It's a time when people believe that Hidimba reveals prophecies about the future.
About the coming year, the harvest, the weather.
It's incredible how those beliefs are woven into their everyday lives.
It really is, and that connection with Hidimba doesn't just stop with the annual fair.
So tell me, how do they interact with Hidimba outside of the festival?
Well, they believe she communicates with them through signs and omens.
Signs and omens. So like reading tea leaves or something? What kind of signs?
Think more along the lines of natural events.
Okay, so natural events.
Things like sudden shifts in weather, maybe unusual animal behavior.
Interesting.
Or even something as simple as the way the wind moves through the trees around the temple.
I see, so they pay attention to those details.
Exactly. They see them as messages from Hidimba.
So a good harvest could be a sign of her favor.
Exactly. A sign that they're living in harmony with her will.
And what about when things take a turn for the worse? Like a bad storm or a poor harvest?
Well, then it's seen as a warning.
Like she's trying to get their attention.
Right. Maybe they need to reevaluate their actions or seek her guidance.
It's like a constant conversation, isn't it?
It is. It's a back and forth between the people and their goddess.
They're constantly looking for those signs.
And interpreting them, trying to understand her will.
It's quite different from how many of us experience the world, isn't it?
It really is, this constant awareness of the spiritual realm.
Seeing the divine in nature.
It challenges our modern worldview in a way.
It makes you think, right? What if we slowed down and paid more attention?
What messages are we missing?
Maybe there's wisdom hidden in the everyday things we overlook.
Exactly. Just like the people of Manali have been doing for centuries.
Now I have to ask, what's it actually like to visit the Hidimba Devi Temple?
Oh, it's an experience. You're immediately struck by the architecture.
That pagoda-style structure we talked about.
Yeah, imagine walking through a cedar forest and then suddenly
You come across this incredible building.
with all those intricate carvings,
And the air is thick with incense.
you can hear the faint sounds of chanting.
I bet it feels otherworldly.
It does. You really feel that blend of the physical and spiritual.
And then you step inside and you realize there's no traditional idol.
Nope, just that large stone believed to be Hidimba's footprint.
What's it like to stand before that footprint?
It's powerful. You can feel the weight of history and
I
devotion.
can only imagine.
People leave offerings, whisper prayers.
But it feels very personal, even with other people around.
It does. Very intimate.
Can you take pictures inside?
Actually, photography isn't allowed inside the inner sanctum, out of respect for the space.
Makes sense.
But the exterior is a photographer's dream.
With the forest backdrop.
It's truly breathtaking.
So even if you're not particularly religious,
You can still appreciate the beauty and the atmosphere.
it's a reminder that this temple isn't just a tourist spot.
Right. It's a place of deep belief and reverence.
People still come to connect with their history and their goddess.
It's a living, breathing testament to their faith.
It really makes you think about the different ways people experience the world.
And the different ways they find meaning.
I think that's what makes the Hidimba Devi Temple so special.
It's this intersection of architecture, nature, and spirituality.
It offers something for everyone.
And it invites us to open our minds to different ways of seeing the world.
Well said. Now, we've explored the story of Hidimba, the beliefs, the temple itself.
Where do we go from here?
How about we zoom out a bit?
Zoom out.
Let's see how this story connects to the bigger picture of Indian mythology.
Ah, you're talking about the Mahabharata.
Exactly. The epic that Hidimba's story comes from.
It's a vast and complex text filled with all sorts of stories.
So how does Hidimba's story fit into that larger narrative?
One of the key themes that comes up is dharma.
Dharma.
It basically means righteous conduct, doing what's right.
Ah.
And the Mahabharata is often seen as a struggle between good and evil.
Right, so where does Hidimba fit in all of this? She starts as a Rakshasi.
But remember, she defies her own kind to protect Bhima.
That's true. It's like she's choosing the path of Dharma.
Exactly. Even though she comes from a background associated with the opposite.
So she's not just a simple villain?
No, she's a complex character who makes choices that align with righteousness.
It challenges our expectations.
And it highlights a key message of the Mahabharata.
Such is.
That anyone, regardless of their past, can choose the path of Dharma.
That's a powerful message.
It's about redemption and the potential for good within all of us.
This is getting really deep.
The Mahabharata will do that to you.
Well, I think we need to pause here for a moment to let all of this sink in.
A good idea. There's much more to explore when we return.
So we left off talking about Dharma and how Hidimba actually embodies that idea.
Right. It's one of the fascinating things about her story, but there's another layer to her character that I think you'll find really interesting.
Oh, what's that?
Well, think about it. Hidimba's story also highlights this idea of female power and agency.
Really? In Mahabharata?
Yeah, especially in a narrative that's often dominated by male characters.
That's a great point. So how does she represent this female power?
Well, she's not afraid to challenge those expectations.
Right. She's definitely not a passive character.
Exactly. She defies her brother, she chooses her partner, and raises a son who becomes a mighty warrior fighting alongside the Pandavas.
She's a force to be reckoned with.
She's making things happen. She's not just letting events unfold around her.
And then you have that transformation from Rakshasi to revered goddess.
Right. It adds another dimension to this idea of female power.
It's not just that she's strong,
Right.
but she becomes this divine figure who commands respect and devotion.
Exactly. And it makes you rethink how we view women in those ancient texts.
It's like we tend to have these preconceived notions, but then you encounter a character like Hidimba, and it throws everything you thought you know out the window.
It challenges those assumptions, for sure. Makes you realize these stories are much more complex than they might seem at first glance.
There's always more to uncover. And I think her story really speaks to that timeless appeal of strong female characters.
Oh, absolutely.
We're drawn to those figures who defy the odds, who create their own paths, and who ultimately shape their destinies.
And that's exactly what Hidimba does. It's no wonder her story has resonated with people for centuries.
Her story reminds us that strength can come from unexpected places.
And that resilience can help you overcome anything, no matter your background.
Well said. Thinking about everything we've discussed,
About Hidimba, the temple, the beliefs.
it's clear that the Hidimba Devi Temple is much more than just a historical site.
It's a symbol of so much more.
It's a place where history, mythology, and belief all come together.
Creating a space to explore those big questions about identity, about power, and about what it means to be divine.
And it's a reminder that there are countless stories like Hidimba's waiting to be discovered.
Each one offering a unique perspective on the world.
So I encourage everyone to keep exploring, to keep asking questions.
Keep digging deeper. You never know what you might find.
That's right. Whether it's through books, travel, or even just conversations like this one.
There's a whole world of fascinating stories out there just waiting to be uncovered.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into the Hidimba Devi Temple.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. We've explored so much, from the legends of Mahabharata
To the local beliefs and practices.
We even took a virtual trip to the temple itself.
It's been my pleasure joining you on this deep dive.
And as always, thank you to all our listeners for joining us. Remember,
Keep exploring those fascinating corners of the world.
and until next time, keep those questions coming.